Let me tell you something they won't teach you in school. Something you won't learn scrolling TikTok or watching pointless TV shows. Discipline builds kings. You want power, you want success, you want the life of your dreams? It starts and ends with discipline. Not motivation, not luck. Discipline. That relentless, ruthless force that pulls you out of bed when your body begs for comfort. People see me now and think I was born with this life. They think I came into the world with Bugattis, watches, and freedom. But they didn't see the cold nights. They didn't feel the emptiness. They weren't there when I had nothing. I grew up broke, single mother, government housing. I was bullied in school. I was nothing. But I had one thing they didn't: the will to rise. I remember nights I went to bed hungry, nights I cried myself to sleep because the world felt like it was built to break me. But in those dark moments, something inside me sparked. I told myself, I will not be average. I wasn't born to suffer. I wasn't born to serve. I was born to lead, to conquer. But for that to happen, I had to become a machine, a warrior, a king. Discipline is the difference between a loser and a winner. I didn't want to train every day. I didn't want to fight in a gym where no one cared if I lived or died, but I did it anyway. Every punch, every bruise, every drop of sweat, I embraced it because comfort is the enemy. Weakness grows in comfort. Strength is forged in pain. You can cry about your life, or you can change it, but you can't do both. When I was cleaning toilets for cash and eating instant noodles, nobody believed in me. Nobody saw potential. I was invisible. But I saw myself as a king in the making. I had nothing, but I had vision, and I had discipline to turn that vision into reality. They called me arrogant. They said I was too intense, too driven. Good. Let them talk. While they talked, I worked. While they slept, I trained. While they laughed, I suffered. You don't build an empire with approval. You build it with obsession, with pain, with the kind of fire that eats through fear and doubt. I fought professionally, 4-time world kickboxing champion. Not because I was gifted, but because I refused to quit. I trained when I was injured. I showed up when I was exhausted. I bled in silence. And every time I got knocked down, I stood back up. Not because it was easy, but because I knew kings don't stay down. And then came the hate, the censorship, the lies, the attacks. I've been banned, misquoted, dragged through the mud. They tried to silence me, to erase me. But you can't cancel a man who was built through suffering. You can't break a man who was broken 1,000 times and still came back stronger. There were moments I felt alone, moments I questioned everything, but even in those moments, I kept my routine, I kept my training, I kept waking up at 5 a.m., reading, planning, sharpening my mind, because discipline is what carries you when motivation dies. And trust me, it will die. You think you're tired, you think you've had a rough life, I get it, life is hard, but it's hard for everyone. The difference is, some people use pain as fuel, others use it as an excuse. I chose to use it. I turned heartbreak into horsepower. I turned rejection into revenge. I turned failure into foundation. Every man is a king, but not every man will wear his crown. You have to earn it. You earn it in the gym. You earn it in your habits. You earn it every time you say no to weakness and yes to growth. And it's not just about money. It's about character. It's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect the moment he enters a room. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be relentless. When I was broke, I studied success like my life depended on it, because it did. I read the books, I watched the interviews, I learned psychology, business strategy, I made mistakes, lost money, got betrayed, but I never gave up. That's discipline. People ask me what the secret is. There is no secret. You're either doing the work or you're not. You're either waking up early or you're not. You're either grinding when nobody's watching or you're making excuses. Stop blaming your childhood, your boss, the system. Start building yourself. Start becoming the king the world needs. I wasn't born fearless. I was born scared, small, insecure, but I built this version of me. Every tough decision, every lonely night, every uncomfortable choice, I carved this version of myself with blood and grit. You want to be powerful? Start being disciplined. Start mastering yourself. Your body is a reflection of your discipline. Your bank account is a reflection of your discipline. Your life is a mirror showing you who you are. Don't like what you see? Change it. Control your habits, control your time, control your mind. That's how kings are made. Not by chance, but by choice. There's nothing more dangerous than a man who's disciplined. He can't be manipulated. He can't be stopped. He doesn't need validation. He is driven by something deeper than applause. He is driven by duty to himself, to his family, to his mission. You won't always win. I've lost fights. I've lost friends. I've lost businesses. But I never lost my drive. Because failure doesn't define you. Your reaction to failure does. Will you sulk? Will you quit? Or will you get back in the game smarter and stronger? Pain is a gift. It teaches you. It humbles you. It reveals your true character. That's why I welcome it. I don't run from discomfort. I run toward it. Because that's where growth lives. That's where kings are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not on Instagram, but in the trenches of life. I've cried in silence. I've screamed into pillows. I've sat on cold floors wondering if it was all worth it. But then I remember the man who outlasts the storm becomes the storm. And once you become the storm, nothing can stop you. To the young man watching this who feels lost, I've been where you are. I know what it's like to feel invisible, to feel like nobody sees you. But here's the truth. You don't need them to see you. You need to see yourself. See the man you can become and start building him now. Nobody's coming to save you. Not your parents, not the government, not me. It's on you. And that's the most liberating truth you'll ever hear. Because once you realize that, you stop waiting and start working. You stop dreaming and start doing. It's where kings are born. In ownership. You can't be free if you're a slave to your emotions. You can't be powerful if you're addicted to comfort. Freedom is earned through sacrifice. Power is earned through pain. Even now, when I have more than I ever dreamed of, I keep the discipline, I still train, I still read, I still guard my time like it's gold. Why? Because comfort is a liar. It will rob you of your edge. It will steal your fire. The moment you think you've made it is the moment you begin to fall. Stay sharp, stay focused, keep your circle tight, and never compromise your values. That's what discipline gives you. Clarity in chaos, strength in storms, vision in noise. When the world goes mad, a disciplined man stays calm. When the world gives up, a king keeps moving forward. You don't have to be perfect today, but you're to start today. Wake up earlier, hit the gym, delete distractions, build a routine, stick to it. Let your actions speak for you. Every disciplined day is a brick in the empire of your future. Stack them, build it, own it, and remember, discipline isn't a prison. It's the path to real freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to live on your terms. Freedom to say no to weakness and yes to greatness. That's the life I chose. That's the life I built. And if I can do it from the bottom, so can you. I'm not special. I'm not a superhero. I'm a man who made a choice to never quit, to never settle, to never be average. And that decision, repeated every day through discipline, is what made me a king. You can do the same. It starts now. Build yourself. Discipline builds kings. Most people are sleepwalking through life. They live the same day 10,000 times and call it a life. Wake up, work, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. No purpose, no hunger, no discipline. And then they wonder why they're miserable, why they feel hollow. It's because they've traded their crown for comfort. And comfort, my friend, is the enemy of greatness. I refuse to be one of them. I refuse to die forgotten. Every day I wake up with fire in my chest because I know time is short. You could die tomorrow. That's not pessimism, that's truth. Every second you waste is a second you could have spent becoming unbreakable. Becoming a king. That's what drives me. I've had money taken from me. I've had my name dragged. I've been misunderstood, misquoted, misjudged. But through it all, I've stayed focused. Because when your mind is disciplined, external chaos doesn't shake internal calm. That's the kind of power you need in this world. Not the power of fists or money, but the power of control over yourself. Self-restraint is the ultimate power. Think about it. If you can control your desires, your fears, your emotions, then nothing owns you. You become a man who chooses his path instead of reacting to the world. That's what separates kings from slaves. One builds his life through intention. The other drifts, blaming fate. People think success is luck. No, success is a result of deliberate decisions made consistently over time. It's built in silence. While they party, you study. While they complain, you grind. And when the time comes, you'll rise while they stay stuck. Because you had the discipline to delay pleasure for a greater purpose. Don't chase happiness, chase progress. Happiness is fleeting. Discipline is forever. When life gets hard, and it will, discipline is what keeps you standing. I've buried friends. I've been betrayed. I've lost everything more than once. But I never lost my will to win. That's what makes a king. There's a darkness in every man. You know it. I know it. You felt it in moments when life hits you hardest. Most run from it, but I've learned to face it, to train it, to use it. That darkness, if you master it, can become your greatest weapon. It gives you edge. It gives you urgency. It gives you strength to endure. Brotherhood saved me. Me and my brother, we built this together. We were in the trenches, shared the pain, shared the wins. Find your tribe. Not people who let you stay average. Not people who feed your excuses. Find men who challenge you, who call you out, who sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron. If you're surrounded by people who accept mediocrity, you'll become mediocre. Cut them off. Not because you hate them, but because you love your future more. That's what discipline requires. Tough decisions, sacrifice, temporary loneliness for eternal self-respect. A man without discipline is a danger to himself. He chases every temptation. He falls for every lie. He wastes time, money, potential. But a disciplined man, he builds a legacy. He protects, he provides, he leads. And that's what the world desperately needs right now. More men who lead. Masculinity isn't toxic, weakness is. A man who can't protect his family, who can't lead himself, who breaks under pressure, that's dangerous. Discipline is what makes you strong enough to carry others. It's what makes you a shelter in the storm. A king doesn't crumble, he carries weight. Let me be real with you. Some mornings, I wake up and feel empty. The success, the cars, the attention, it doesn't always fill the void. You know what does? Discipline, purpose, routine, honor. When I stick to my code, I feel alive. Because I'm not living for pleasure. I'm living for principle. You can't cheat this process. You can't fake it. You either live with discipline or you die with regret. And regret is the heaviest burden a man can carry. The what ifs, the I should have. Don't live like that. Start today. Start now. Even one push-up is a step toward your crown. You will fall. You will fail. But fall forward. Fail forward. That's the secret. Every loss is a lesson. Every setback is a setup. If you stay disciplined through failure, you become unbreakable. You learn faster. You grow sharper. You evolve. That's how kings are forged. In the fire, not the comfort zone. Social media is a lie. Everyone is pretending. Focus on your lane. Build your empire one brick at a time. Every morning you wake up early, you lay a brick. Every time you eat clean, read, train, you lay a brick. And one day, you'll look up and see a castle. And when that castle is built, protect it. Because success attracts leeches, fake friends, opportunists. Discipline is also about discernment. Knowing who to trust, when to speak, when to stay silent. Kings don't gossip, kings don't beg, kings observe, act, and execute. Money without discipline is poison. Fame without character is dangerous. Power without responsibility is destruction. That's why your foundation must be strong, and that foundation is built by mastering your morning, your thoughts, your body, and your time. Time is your most valuable currency, not crypto, not dollars, time. And you're spending it like it's infinite. Stop wasting it on cheap dopamine, meaningless scrolling, people who don't invest in you. Time is how kings build legacies. Every second you control is a sword in your arsenal. People ask, why do you push so hard, Tate? Because I know what it's like to be powerless, to be voiceless, to be broke, to feel like nothing you do matters. I swore I'd never feel like that again. Now, I fight every day, not just for me, but for every man who still feels that way. I'm not here to be loved, I'm here to be remembered. And you should be too. Forget being liked. Forget being safe. Be great. Be disciplined. Be unstoppable. The world will adjust. Real men don't follow the crowd, they lead the charge. And that takes backbone and discipline. Let the pain fuel you. Let the setbacks shape you. Let the doubt ignite you. You are more powerful than you think, but only if you choose to be. You're not broken. You're just untrained. Get in the gym, get in the books, get in the fight, claim your throne. You don't have time to wait. The clock is ticking. The enemy is comfort. The enemy is excuses. The enemy is weakness disguised as rest. Don't fall for it. Rise before the sun. Sweat before others wake. Train while they party. Kings aren't born in palaces. They're built in silence. One day, your story will inspire someone else. One day, they'll ask how you did it, and you'll say, I refuse to quit. I embraced the pain. I chose discipline over pleasure, and I built myself. That's a legacy. That's a life. That's a king. So here's your final challenge. Look in the mirror. Are you proud of the man staring back? If not, don't hate him. Rebuild him, layer by layer, day by day, through sweat, discipline, and sacrifice, because no one's coming to crown you. You have to forge your own crown. Discipline builds kings, not talent, not privilege, discipline. The world is watching. Your younger self is watching. Your future self is waiting. What will you do? Will you scroll past this moment like every other, or will this be the moment you rise? Let me make something very clear. There is no right time. There's no magical morning where you wake up fearless, fully energized, ready to rewrite your life. That moment doesn't exist. What exists is the discipline to act despite how you feel. Your emotions, they lie. Your feelings, they fluctuate. But your actions, your routine, that's real power. You don't wait to feel strong to act strong. You act strong and strength follows. That's how I built myself. Not from inspiration, but from brutal self-command. When I was in the fight game, I had days I couldn't lift my arms. Injuries, pain, blood, but I still trained. Not because I wanted to, but because my mind made a contract with greatness, and my body didn't get a vote. That's the mindset you need. You follow the plan, not the mood. And look, I've lost. I've been beaten in the ring. I've been betrayed by people I loved. Been attacked by media, silenced online, misunderstood, misrepresented. But the reason I'm still standing is simple. I trained for war before the war came, and when the storm hit, I didn't crumble, I performed. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not flashy. It doesn't go viral. Nobody claps for you at 5 a.m. when you're running in the cold. But that's where the war is won. In the moments no one sees. In the decisions no one celebrates. In the quiet hours where the weak fall asleep and the strong rise in silence. Do you want applause or achievement? You can't have both. One feeds your ego, the other feeds your legacy. Social media has lied to you. It made you think progress is fast, success is glamorous, and pain is avoidable. No, progress is lonely, success is expensive, and pain is required. Let's talk about sacrifice. Every king has scars. Every legend has losses. If you're not willing to bleed, you're not ready to lead. I've had years where I sacrificed comfort, relationships, vacations, because the vision was bigger than the moment. And that's what makes a man dangerous. Purpose beyond pleasure. People say, Tate, what if I fail? Good. You should fail. You need to fail. Every failure is a rep in the mental gym. Every rejection strengthens your resilience. If you're too fragile to fail, you're too fragile to succeed. And if you can't stomach risk, stay ordinary. The world rewards grit, hunger, relentlessness. You don't need to be the smartest guy in the room. You need to be the one who doesn't leave the room until the work is done. Not built through daily discipline. Not motivational speeches. Not emotional highs. But consistent. Sacrifice. Understand this. Your mind is programmable. Most people use it to program excuses. You can use it to build empires. Feed it strength. Feed it truth. Starve it of victimhood. Discipline is not just external. It starts in your self-talk. What are you telling yourself when no one's around? I used to whisper to myself, one more rep, one more round, one more hour, one more level. That mindset alone made me a champion. And not just in sport, but in business, in mindset, in life. Because I refused to stop when it got hard. I only stopped when I was done. They won't believe in you at first. That's fine. Belief isn't owed. It's earned. Let them doubt. Let them mock. You'll make them believers when you win. You don't need validation. You need execution. You need to do the work day after day until your reality is too loud to ignore. Let's talk about energy. Guard it with your life. Don't waste it arguing online. Don't waste it chasing women who bring no peace. Don't waste it proving yourself to people who aren't building anything. Channel it. Use it. Build something so strong they can't deny you. Discipline is also about saying no. No to distractions, no to mediocrity, no to the old version of you. That version has to die for the new one to be born. That's what discipline demands. A funeral for weakness and a rebirth of a king. I remember a time when I had no money in my account and all I had was the fire inside me. No one was clapping, no one was calling, but I told myself, I will not die average. And from that moment, every breath was an investment. Every move was a play. That's how you move when you've made a decision. Make your mind stronger than your surroundings. The environment might not support you. Your friends might not get it. Your family might doubt it, but discipline doesn't care. Discipline isn't emotional. It's a system. It's a machine. It's your edge in a world full of weak-minded men. You know what's harder than sacrifice? Regret. Regret is poison. Regret is hell on earth. I'd rather sweat for years than cry for a lifetime. And that's the trade-off. Suffer now or suffer forever. Choose wisely. Becoming a king isn't just about material success. It's about internal mastery. It's about conquering your mind, then your body, then your environment. Only then can you lead. Only then can you protect. Only then can you walk into a room and own it without saying a word. And listen closely. Discipline compounds. The longer you stick to it, the easier it becomes. You build confidence, you build momentum, you build identity. You stop faking it and start being it. You start to live like one. Everything you want is on the other side of your current habits. You want more respect? Be more disciplined. You want better health? Be more disciplined. You want freedom? You guessed it. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. In the end, no one's going to save you. No mentor, no course, no podcast, not even me. You've got to be your own hero. You've got to decide this moment, enough is enough. No more wasted time, no more excuses, no more victim mindset. It ends today. It ends with you. Discipline will cost you. It will cost comfort, laziness, distraction, and soft living. But what it gives you in return is immeasurable. Power, peace, purpose, pride, presence. That's the reward, and no one can take it from you once it's earned.
You know the worst possible mindset you can try and optimize your life for?
Go on.
Happiness. Happiness is for women and children. You're allowed to be happy as a woman, and you're allowed to be happy as a kid. As a man, if you wake up and go, I want to be happy today, you're going to do unimportant, narcissistic, hedonistic garbage. You're either going to eat too much, drink too much, take drugs, sit around and play video games, smoke weed. You're not going to achieve anything if you want to be happy. It's ultimately temporary, and you sit there and go, I want to be happy today, I want a happy day. You're not going to achieve anything.
You show me a man who wakes up and says he wants to be happy himself, I'll show you a bitch. Because that's not what you're supposed to do. As a man, you're supposed to wake up and say, all right, my life might be shit. I'm going to suffer. I may be miserable, but every single person I love is going to be happy. This whole idea of how happy am I is the easiest way for a man to destroy his life. If you're chasing happiness, you're only going to do hedonistic garbage and achieve absolutely nothing important. If you wake up and say, I don't care how happy I am, I want to be proud of myself and I want to make other people proud of me, so I have to do all these things irregardless of how I feel, you're going to have a fantastic life. If you wake up and say, I want to be happy, you're going to chase silly hoes, drugs, and alcohol.
But that's temporary happiness, right?
Well, but how else can you get instant happiness unless it's temporary? To get long-term happiness is something that's only going to come from dedication and hard work, which requires short-term suffering. It's just delayed.
If you listen and look back on most of your failures, you're going to see that it was your own mind
that betrayed you.
There's a version of you that never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. There's a version of you who never fails.